Good afternoon, guys. We're going to talk about climate change and its effects on humans, nations, and global effects. So, first, we'll talk about humans specifically. When we talk about climate change, the first thing that comes to mind is going to be the greenhouse gases, and this is known for the CO2, the ozone, and the aerosols that are going around us. And this can increase respiratory diseases and many other things, but one of the main things that people have been seeing is asthma. Also, temperature increases due to the increased aerosols in the air and the water vapor and everything like that. Living in Florida, I see heat related deaths a lot. And being a first responder, we see a lot of it, and especially heat strokes or even just heat exhaustion is really becoming more common. And also living here in Florida, we tend to see the sea level rising and have more effects from the flooding and everything. I used to live on the East Coast, and I would be able to tell just on a regular day on how much higher the high tides are and everything like that. And these are found to be between North Carolina and Florida on the East Coast. Also, something that comes on the human side of things is what we call climate gentrification. This is when sea levels are rising, which cause people that make more money to leave their beachside houses and move to lower income households, therefore increasing the property value and displacing those lower income individuals, which in end affects humans. So some effects on the nation will be, again, temperature changes. Really, temperature changes is what's going to be human, nation, and global effects. But as a nation, especially in the US, we've seen the droughts and the floods. The droughts are causing wildfires. Over in California and the western states, the floods are kind of near me where I'm in Florida, and Louisiana and Texas and everybody, especially with the increase of hurricanes. It's with the increased precipitations and the change in the atmospheres, it causes warmer waters, and then that creates bigger hurricanes, bigger, more dangerous hurricanes, which in turn we'll see on the global side, once we get to that, how that affects that aspect. And then going into the Europe side, really just about the same thing, just the climate-related extremes. So that would be any natural disasters or increase of temperatures. Everything is just, in the end, costing more money. As you can read on the slide, it says what about the US would lose about 1 to 4% of its GDP, and that's due to the labor and energy sector in the warming temperatures, due to the warming temperatures and the higher emissions that are being developed. Now, as we go into the global economy, it is, as I said, very related to the temperature and the greenhouse gases and everything like that. Really just an increase of energy use is what's causing all of these things. So by 2050 is where everybody is basing their equations right now, that if it increases by 3.2 degrees Celsius, it could possibly cause a loss of 18% GDP. And there are people who are at higher risk. Most of the time it is underdeveloped countries, such as smaller countries in Africa and in the lower section of Asia. And China is actually at the higher risk due to population risk and increase of emissions, and that is said to be close to 24% GDP in a very severe scenario. The southern hemisphere is found to be more greatly impacted due to the closeness to the equator, and that is where the increase of heat is. So, like I said before, the hurricanes and temperatures are going to the hurricanes are going to increase, and the increase of temperatures are going to cause drought, causing wildfires, and in these natural disasters, it is an increase of federal funding, which causes the economy to need to spend more money. Excuse me. And this is also, in one of the readings I studied, it was found that as you can read, global warming will primarily influence economic growth through damage to property and infrastructure, lost productivity, mass migration, and security threats. this is very massive and one of the major impacts on the global economy. It's just an increase. People are dying off due to the mortality. A lot of labor increases, a lot of cost increases, especially due to possible crop failure from droughts and many other natural disaster consequences due to the increase of temperatures, greenhouse gases, and a plethora of other things. And there's my references. Thank you guys very much.